A to Z Animal Mysteries. This is a J-Star series, early chapter book. Some of you may be familiar with Ron Roy's original A to Z Mysteries. This is a new series of mysteries, now focusing on animals. Abigail Wallace, Abby for short, helps solve some mysteries with Dink, Josh, and Ruth Rose from the original series. In this series, Abby is helped by twins Lydia and Daniel and Barkley, Abby's dog. In the series opener, The Absent Alpacas, the trio attend a state fair where there's a costume contest for alpacas. But when they arrive, all but one of the alpacas is missing. Will Abby, Lydia, Daniel, and Barkley be able to solve this mystery? Book 2, Bats in the Castle, is also available.
Hello, I'm Rebecca, and I'm here to tell you about a cool new series called Buddy and Bee. The first book is called Not Really Buddies. It's by Jan Carr with illustrations by Chris Mukai. So in this book, you'll meet Buddy, a daydreamy, sometimes forgetful kid who is excited to start second grade in Jabari's classroom. That's right, it's not Mr. Jabari, just Jabari, since he lets his students call him by his first name. Buddy thinks that Jabari is the best second grade teacher ever, and he even takes his class bird watching. But first day disaster strikes when it turns out that Buddy's assigned classroom, 108, is not Jabari's classroom. Buddy has a different new teacher, Ms. Maple. At least he already knows the kids in his class. Well, except for one student who shows up late to the very first day of school. Her name is Bee, and she is a force of nature. She speaks her mind even when she probably shouldn't. She can't seem to get Buddy's name right, and she is very comfortable being in the spotlight. While Bee seems to have good intentions, nearly everything she does rubs Buddy the wrong way. Can this first day of second grade get any worse? Unfortunately, sometimes things get worse before they get better. See how things turn out for Buddy and read Not Really Buddies.
Hi everyone, I'm Miss Bailey, and one thing I know for sure is that there are a lot of dragon fans out there, and if you're watching, maybe you're one of them. So I wanted to share a few of our most popular chapter book series at the library that are all about dragons. I hope you like my suggestions.
First up is the oldie but goodie, The Dragon Master series by Tracy West. In the first book, Rise of the Earth Dragon, 8-year-old Drake is taken from his family without warning and brought to the castle to be trained as a dragon master, along with 3 other children. A dragon master is someone who can connect with and train their dragon. Dragon masters also have to discover the dragon's special power. You'll read about Drake and the adventures of the other dragon masters as they learn and gain experience. Next, we have the Dragon Girl series by Maddie Mara with the first book, Asmina, the Gold Glitter Dragon. This series features human girls who can actually turn into dragons when they're in the magic forest. They're gifted with powers and the ability to fly, but they are also protectors of the magic forest and must help to keep it safe. And yes, there is a lot of glitter involved. Now I want to share Dragon Games by the same author of Dragon Girls by Maddie Mara. In Dragon Games, some classmates are transported to a magical land named Imperia. They get involved in a dangerous game to locate 3 dragon eggs that have to be returned home to top secret locations in Imperia. Once the eggs hatch, the dragons born from those eggs should restore peace to the land. However, the evil ruler of Imperia has other plans. Read on to find out if Luca, Yasmin, and Zane are able to save the land. Lastly, I wanted to share Gemstone Dragons by Samantha Clark. This is the only series I mentioned that is actually from the perspective of the dragons themselves. You have the gemstone dragons that live in Sparkle Cave. Each dragon has a gemstone that comes with a magical power, and sometimes these powers save the day, and sometimes they cause a little bit of trouble. I hope any dragon fans out there will check out these 4 series.
In this series, Malcolm and his best friend Dandy aren't like other 10-year-old boys. Malcolm experiments in his lab and reads his science magazines all day long during the summer. In one magazine, he comes across an advertisement for an Ecto handheld automatic heat-sensitive laser-enhanced spectre detector and decides to buy the device. When testing out the new gadget in a haunted house, they discover a practical joking poltergeist. What ensues afterwards is a chaotic mystery of ghosts and demons that Malcolm and Dandy discover, and they soon call themselves the Ghost Detectors. If you enjoy mysteries, ghosts, and funny pranks, then you will sure like this series. The series involves a plethora of ghosts and mysteries. My favorite poltergeist in the series is Wild Willie Wallace from Book 5, entitled Draw. Wild Willie Wallace is a bank-robbing cowboy poltergeist who is seeking revenge on his ex-buddies who stole gold from him after he was imprisoned for his crimes. He now haunts the campgrounds where his gold is said to be buried, not resting until the gold is rightfully his again. Join Nancy Drew, girl detective, as her and her best friends, Bess and George, try to solve mysteries around their hometown. The series is based off of the Nancy Drew series by Carolyn Keene, but with a graphic novel twist to it. If you like solving mysteries and graphic novels, then this is the series for you. In the first installment of the graphic novel series, entitled The Demon of River Heights, Nancy and her friends must find the missing crew members of a horror movie set that is filming in their town. The movie is concerned about a monstrous River Heights urban legend. But is it really an urban legend, or does the River Heights demon truly exist? And will Nancy, Bess, and George live long enough to find out? One of my favorites in the series is the mystery of the haunted dollhouse. The town of River Heights is celebrating Nostalgia Week, where everyone in town dresses up like it's 1930, even Nancy and her friends. But when scenes of crimes displayed in an antique dollhouse start coming true, Nancy must find out who's behind the mysterious dollhouse and if she can change the future before it's too late. Be sure to check out this series at the library.
Saving Sunshine by Saadia, Faruqi, and Shazleen Khan. This is a graphic novel. Zara and Zishan are middle school age Muslim American twins who constantly fight. Zara is into animal preservation and Zishan loves all things NASA and space. When their doctor mother is invited to receive an award at a Florida conference, it becomes a family vacation. But when the twins' constant bickering becomes unbearable, their parents take away their phones until they can learn to get along. Zara has just started wearing hijab, which makes her a target for teasing at school and at the resort. She's annoyed that her brother Zishan doesn't stand up for her. While wandering down the beach at the resort, they come across a stranded sea turtle that Zara has named Sunshine. Helping the turtle becomes a joint adventure for them, and they learn to appreciate each other's interests.
Sparrow Being Sparrow by Gail Donovan and illustrations by Alicia Case is a cute chapter book with black and white pictures every few pages. In it, Sparrow Robinson, the main character, is a spirited and curious fourth grader who moved to her new town in Maine over the summer. As the book begins, Sparrow's elderly neighbor, Mrs. LaRose, has broken her hip, and as she is being carted off in an ambulance, Sparrow promises to look after her cats, all 7 of them. That's a lot of responsibility for a young girl, but Sparrow is sure she can handle it. Plus, it makes her feel better since she feels partly responsible for Mrs. LaRose's injury because it happened while they were doing the dance of the monarch butterflies. Sparrow's parents consider leaping and dancing like butterflies getting carried away, but Mrs. LaRose seems to embrace and understand it. Sparrow is also set to start 4th grade in her new school the very next day, which is causing her to feel understandably nervous. Will she make new friends? Will her teacher appreciate her energy? On her first day, when asked to share a fun fact about herself with her new classmates, Sparrow panics and exaggerates about Mrs. LaRose's cats.
Instead of correcting the overstatement, Sparrow lets it snowball into a full-out lie. Sparrow knows that this will threaten the new friendships she has made, but she struggles with how to correct her mistake. Additionally, Mrs. LaRose might need to move into an assisted living place for senior citizens, which means that most of her cats will need new homes. Sparrow is confident that she can help place the cats in homes and keep them out of a shelter, but her parents need convincing. Sparrow is hoping her home can be one of the placements. If she can show her responsibility by finding homes for the other cats, maybe that will be enough to persuade her parents. I found Sparrow to be a lovable and believable character with relatable challenges. Sparrow being Sparrow is a great choice if you like realistic fiction or for fans of Ramona Quimby or Clementine.
Tales of Bunjitsu Bunny is by John Himmelman. The Tales of Bunjitsu Bunny is a book about Isabel, a bunny who loves jujitsu. Everyone calls her Bunjitsu Bunny because she is so good at it. The Tales of Bunjitsu Bunny has Isabel showing in a really fun way how the skills of jujitsu, the act of kicking, hitting, and throwing, is the way to go. Sometimes. But most of the time, it's about when not to kick, hit, or throw. Let me read you a little bit. Tales of Bunjitsu Bunny. Introducing Isabel. Isabel was the best Bunjitsu artist in her school. She could kick higher than anyone. She could hit harder than anyone. She can throw her classmates farther than anyone. Some were frightened of her, but Isabel never hurt another creature unless she had to. Bunjitsu is not just about kicking, hitting, and throwing, she said. It is about finding ways not to kick, hit, or throw. They called her Bunjitsu Bunny. Now you can continue reading this book and see just how smart Bunjitsu Bunny is. In each of the next tales, Bunjitsu Bunny knows just when to use her Bunjitsu skills and when she should use her smarts instead. Oh, even Cricket and Butterfly were smart, but you'll have to read to find out why.
I suppose the story of Gumlu the Wizard by Adam Rex is a fairy tale in the sense that it has a wizard, a king, a prince, and townspeople, but it also has a ghost named Butterscotch and a raven named Helvetica who narrates the story. There is even a visit from the Truth Fairy. That's right, the Truth Fairy, not to be confused with the Tooth Fairy. Gumlu is a kind-hearted but unwise wizard who is known as the little wizard who lives in the big hill. Or is he the shrinking wizard who lives by the big hole? His good nature and kindness are taken for granted by the townspeople. But the harvest dance is coming up, and Gumlu is hoping to be named Harvest Hero, although it seems like a bit of a long shot, since the same person has won for the past 25 years. This is a funny story with unexpected events that will get you thinking about truths and lies and what it means to believe in someone, all told from Helvetica the Raven's unique point of view. So don't be a noodlehead and give it a read.
The Good Sports League, The Ultimate Goal by Tommy Greenwald is a new book here at the library. I read the description and thought it looked really good, so I decided to read the entire book. And I really liked it, so I thought I would tell you about it. In this book, Ben plays soccer for the Anchovies team, which is a team on the Pizza League. He loves soccer, but what he really loves is the happiness it brings when he plays, while on the field with friends, playing soccer and having a great time. After he scores, he even does a victory dance. Ben has a sister, Ellie, and she knows nothing about soccer. So she tries to support Ben as best she can by cheering him on to make a touchdown or telling Ben she loves the home runs the best. She tries. Anyway, Ben is so good at soccer that Coach Cleary asks Ben to play on the West Harbor Academy team. This is a dream come true for Ben. Once Ben begins to play on the West Harbor Academy team, he realizes that the coach and his teammates take soccer very seriously. Maybe even a little too serious. Unfortunately, the coach is so hard on the kids that Ben no longer wants to play soccer. Will Ben decide to quit soccer for good? Read to find out what Ben does and how he comes to make his decision as to whether or not soccer is for him any longer. I hope you like it as much as I did.
The Underdogs series by Kate and Joel Temple. This is the perfect series if you love the bad guys and the investigators series. Book 1 is The Underdogs Catch a Cat Burglar. In this series, you have the Underdog Detective Agency, which is in Dogtown. Not surprisingly, the detective agency has only ever had dog detectives. But times are changing. Crime is on the rise in Dogtown. The Underdogs haven't solved a case in years, and there just might be a cat burglar on the loose. A cat burglar who is stealing everything from handbags to ham sandwiches. So to solve this mystery, the Underdog Detective Agency does something different. They hire their first ever cat detective, Fang. And Fang is tough. She has 1 eye and 3 teeth. She grew up in Dogtown, which is mostly, shocker, dogs. But she might just have what it takes to nab the cat burglar. Will Fang fit in at the detective agency? Will the cat burglar mystery ever be solved? And is the burglar an actual cat? You'll have to read to find out.